Hi, AJ here. Although I've been reminded that most people call me Mr. Wizard due to the potency and taste that most of my product comes out like. So we'll go back to Mr. Wizard. They seem to, I seem to be getting hassled for not doing that. So, hi. We're going to talk a little bit about basic smoking. Y'all familiar with what this is? It's a pipe. Ooh, wow, yeah. This is a glass pipe. This is probably the only thing you should be using to smoke with. I know everybody likes the bongs, everybody likes their little metal pipes and their little wood pipes, and oh goodness, there's vape pens, there's dab things, there's all this stuff going on. Let's do some basic information. When it comes to pipes, you're going to smoke. Metal is horrible because it gets too hot and kills your medicine. Heat is the worst thing for your medicine. Don't use it. Just that simple. Metal screens. Don't use those either. No. Again, it's metal. It's going to get hot. It's going to ruin your medicine. Think of it this way. Your medicine needs to be torched or heated at the lowest temperature possible. Ideally, when it comes to smoking, that would be with like a old stick kitchen match. That has the lowest temp of a lot of lighter type items. But let's face it, kitchen matches, you use it, you blow it out, and it smells like sulfur, and then you got all these little wooden sticks in your ashtray. Fire hazard. Don't use the cheap lighters. Use a Bic. It's a little more consistent flame. And consistency is what I'm trying to get folks to do. Consistency is the key to everything that comes into medical marijuana. Smoking the weed itself, well, again, glass pipes, it keeps it cooler and it allows you to get more medicine into your body. The reason I don't like bongs are twofold. One, they smell bad. You spill the water and it stains and you never get it out of your clothes, you never get it out of the floor, the carpeting, whatever the case may be. Just not a good idea, bad all the way around. I don't even allow them in the house. Everyone's like, oh, but they give you such a good idea. Yeah, well, there's a reason your water turns yellow when half your product is floating around in the bowl. You're losing a lot of medicine. Again, this is medical, not recreational. We are using this as a medicine, which means you don't want to be wasting it. Especially considering the amount of ounces that I give away every single day. You really, really need to make sure you're not wasting it so that everybody has an opportunity to have their medicine, okay? So stay away from that. Joints, blunts, they're wonderful if you're having a party and a bunch of friends over, but most of that smoke that you see going up out of your joint, well, that's not going into your body. It's not helping you out any. So that's one thing. This podcast is going to be a little bit longer because I've got a couple things here I've got to go over and discuss with you. Number one was the pipe. Get pipes that have big holes. That is a small hole in my book. That's an extremely small hole. And the one in here that you can't see is ridiculous. You need large hole. The larger the hole, the better. You get better airflow, and it's much easier to keep clean. Bacteria is your enemy, okay? So keep it clean. I will have another podcast about how to actually do that. Okay, take your weed. Yeah, everybody's familiar with what this is, marijuana. All right, so we have a bud. This is a nice, pretty little bud of Daughter of Athena, DOA. So you take this, and most people grab it, and they grind it up and put it in the bowl, and then they smash it in there, and then they light the heck out of it. Wrong, and more wrong. Get one of these. This is a little grinder. You can get the cheap kind, the ones that only have 2 chambers, but this is the one I recommend. It has a chamber on the top where you put your weed. See, it's got all those little teeth there. And you literally take your weed, stick it right in there, just shove it right in there as hard as you can. Put the little top piece on, and then turn the little hoochie jigger like that back and forth. It makes a grind. You take the next level off, not the top one that you just ground, but the next level, and ta-da, you have ground weed, okay? The bottom level is for those micro pieces of kief, the THC embers, all of that beautiful stuff there is what your medicine is made of. I save my key for the end when I'm having a really bad back day. My pain level gets up around 8, 9. I'm going to be into the key. The rest of the time, I'll just stick with my smoke. It works just fine. So, take your little bit of weed that you got out of your grinder and literally just drop it right on there like that. Everybody goes, well, aren't you worried about getting weed in your mouth? Well, yeah, on occasion, you're going to get a little weed in your mouth. Oh, well. It's natural and organic if you're doing it right, so it shouldn't be a big deal. But the main thing is, don't pack it. You get a little leftover, something that's left on your finger, just dribble it down over the top like that so that it just stays floaty on the top. Don't press it down. All you're doing is creating a charcoal briquette. And you've lit pipes where you get down, you got this little rock at the bottom, and you tap out your pipe, and there's this little nug. That's your charcoal briquette because you packed it and you overheated it. So, how do you not overheat it? Well, one, you don't smoke it by going like this and then burning the crap out of it. Really, when you're smoking, you want to do two things. You want a very quick, short breath. You don't hold it in. And you want your flame to be drawn down by your breath, not by the lighter, like so. You'll notice the flame is going across the top of the bowl this way, okay? And what that allows you to do is by sucking down through it, you draw it down with the air that you're sucking in, it pulls the flame down. I've got the flame that high above the weed, not down in there, okay? It makes a big difference. You'll notice I don't hold it in. There's no reason to. In a nanosecond, your lungs will take all the medicine it needs, grab it, send it into your bloodstream to distribute throughout your body. You do not need to hold it in. By holding it in, the only thing you're doing is hurting your lungs. Just that simple. I have asthma. I have really bad asthma at times. Weed doesn't bother it at all, but I'm not stupid about it. Don't hold it in. If you don't think this is right, just take a deep breath of air, hold it in. Hold it as long as you can. See if you don't get a nice little buzz. Sure, it's because you just deprived your head of oxygen. Well, you're doing the same thing when you're smoking weed. Don't do that. Suck it in, blow it right out. Yes, you will get just as high. There will not be any difference. I don't care what anybody says. I've proven it over and over again, over 100 times with 100 different patients. Believe me, after a couple of weeks, they all come back to me and say the same thing. My weed tastes better when I'm smoking it this way. I get better medicine. My medicine feels better. And I'm not coughing or having the scratchy throat or the burned throat or any of that. Do it the right way, folks. Peace out.